Hey guys, Haas with Haas Games and Cards, and I hope you're all doing awesome because you all deserve it. What do we got going on today? Well, today we are revisiting the movie, or not movie, wow, the YouTube video we made Christmas Eve about a potential Christmas miracle. We were kind of unsure about it. At the end of it, we're like, is it real? Is it not real? We don't know. So we're following up on that today because this was something major that impacted a lot of customers, the TCG player market in general, things like that. So definitely something we wanted to revisit and take a look back at. And so what are we talking about? We are talking about the crazy Christmas Eve fiasco of the $40 Terrestrial Festival booster boxes. So just to kind of recap, one of my customers was asking about prices for Terrestrial Festival. Usually when I sell my stuff, I base it off of some TCG players, some eBay last sold. I kind of find a good mix in between the two. And so I went to go look it up, and all of a sudden there was $40 booster boxes by one seller, and he posted 10,000 quantity. A 10,000 quantity. That is crazy. And I'm sitting there going, holy crap. Not even my suppliers get it that cheap. Not even close. That was crazy. That was crazy. And it was so unheard of. It's like I struggled to get a decent amount of cases, but 9,000 booster boxes, I don't even think that would have been an option if I pulled together all of my vendors that I use. I got a handful of vendors, and usually I have to order from all of them to get the product or the amount of product that I want. And so we were looking into it, and it is a company, or I don't know what they are. They're called One Piece Breaks. We have them up here on TCG Player, and when we went through the last video, we reviewed some stuff with them. We're like, okay, they have pretty high, it's gone down since then, obviously, but during the time they had like a 95% rating with some really weird reviews. I thought this was the weirdest one, where they're like, my cards did not arrive at all, because I bought. I don't think that. Oh, this is a different one. They're just like, though my cards didn't arrive at all, it was all fast, and they got it resolved, and I got a full. They offered me a full refund or replacement. They took the refund, and he was just happy with it. And it's like, that doesn't make sense. That's really weird. And then I've ordered an Evolving Skies booster box, got a One Piece booster box instead. So I know some people locally that bought into this. I met some people online through my video, through comments, through my last video. I had some people reach out and say like, hey, I did buy these booster boxes, or trying it, because $40 is hard to pass up. It's the best deal you're gonna find out there. I can't do $40. Sorry, I'm losing my voice a little bit too. My child is giving me the plague from daycare, of course, after Christmas plague. So people on my YouTube videos were like, yeah, we bought into these. I'll follow up with you on how it goes. People on Instagram reached out to me. Even spoke with another Instagram influencer. Very awesome content, by the way. Check it out. PokeSun TCG Lee Sun. Very awesome stuff. Very awesome YouTube channel. Poke SMP podcast. You actually learn quite a bit. This investment strategy video, I'm not done watching it yet, but very interesting stuff. So we're looking through that. We're getting some feedback from customers. It takes a second to gather all the information up, and lo and behold, and what it ends up being is a big old scam. Unfortunately, a big old scam, and that really sucks. That really sucks, because that impacts so many people. And I literally watched the inventory of this start out at like 9.6 thousand. I checked it multiple times throughout the night. It kept dropping 1,000 here, 1,000 there. Just nuts. And by Christmas morning, by the time I got up, it It was down to like its last 1,000, and then after a few hours from there, it was just completely sold out. So that is like an over $400,000 scam. A huge, huge scam. That is so crazy. That is so crazy. So again, kind of recapping how this happened. One Piece breaks, the sus reviews, we're going through and looking at them. It says they're located in Indiana. Don't know if that's true or not. I tried to find them on Instagram, because most people that sell stuff have some kind of social media. So they don't have a website, no Instagram. Tried to find them on like Whatnot and other things like that. Couldn't find anything about them, which kind of tells me some crazy person that probably set up an account, or someone that, and again, sorry, my voice, oh my goodness, might have to take a drink of water here in a minute, but definitely someone that had some bad intentions, I guess is the best way to put it. But we're looking through, and they started up earlier in December, so built up their account earlier in December. That's why we have some of these reviews from December 11th, the 3rd, December 3rd, and even some in November too. And, you know, some positive comments, very fast shipping, packaged nicely, too, for real, for real. Then this person said, took over a month to arrive, but the card eventually came. It was as expected, and the seller was prompt and courteous, A+ seller. So some weird reviews. And then we go to just like no comments, great seller. So it kind of makes you wonder, did they set up like an account and move some things really quick just to build up like that trust and that good rating and things like that? Did their account get hacked? Or what happened? What happened? It's just so crazy. It is just so crazy. Are they someone from out of the country that created this account and just pulled off this big scam? Because $400,000, that's like federal crime level, especially reaching out to multiple different states. That's not something to be taken lightly. And one thing I'm super surprised about, there's not a lot of news outlets covering this stuff. I haven't heard it really on YouTube at all. I was the first one to break it on YouTube. And I'm surprised TCG Player hasn't made a statement yet. I wonder if they put something up yet. TCG Player Terastal Festival Booster Box Scam. Let's see if they made a thing about it. See, someone made a video about it 11 hours ago, so I definitely beat them. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I was one of the first people to just break this. But yeah, there is nothing on here. There's nothing on here like you'd expect with this many customers that are impacted and this many people affected, this amount of money. This was a huge amount of money that went through, especially for some people in the quantities they bought. We'll go over that in here in just a second. But this is something that is so widespread that I'm really surprised TCG Player is silent. Like, why have they not said anything? They have this TCG Player safeguard built on trust, which I'm sure everyone's going to get a refund. Hopefully everyone gets a refund. That's my hope. I hate it when people get affected by stuff like this. But I mean, what if someone makes a like how long do you have to debate your order? Like, how long do you have to be like, hey, you know what, this order is wrong? Because if it were me, with how many orders I have at a time trying to keep my shop going and other things I do, I'll probably forget about an order for like a month, and then I'll be like, hey, where's my stuff? And if they exceed a certain timeline, I'll have to look at the I guess that's what I should have done before the video. I'll have to look at their safeguard policy and see if it has a timeline to it. But if you don't dispute it in a certain amount of time, do you just lose that money? I don't know. If so, then yeah, that's going to entice these people to keep on scamming to keep on being bad. That's just nuts to me, guys. That is just crazy. So of course they go through and post this huge quantity of booster boxes with no review process, no safeguards, no nothing. And you should look at the sales. There's some people that bought like 100 here, 40 there. Another 20, 40, 60, 37. That's a weird number. Just all these numbers all over the place. 51, another 100. So that's $4,000. That's multiple people out $4,000. 120, like that's thousands of dollars that people are affected by, or affected from this. Here's another $100, another 100. It just keeps going, keeps on going. I mean, every 100 you hit is $4,000. Another 100, 140. And I mean, I get it. There's some people probably looking at the booster boxes going, no, I don't want to pay 77 to 80 bucks a box. That's crazy. Because that's where we're at. We're in that 77 to $80 range right now. And a lot of people don't want to pay that. Unfortunately, that's the price. That just is what it is. Especially with demand and restocking this stuff from Japan, and they keep raising their prices. It's a very volatile market. It's interesting to maneuver in, I guess is the best way to put it. Because where are we at right now? Let's take a look. 79. So it jumped up since I last had this page up. And we're going on a good uptick here. 79, I bet in the next day or two, probably well before I do my next card show, these are going to easily be $80 a box. So they're definitely going up, especially if we look here. Yeah, we're going to be jumping into the 80 to 84 range very, very quickly. There's not much of a barrier stopping that from happening. So let's take a look here. I think my baby's crying. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Baby woke up, had to get it handled. Don't even know where I left off. But we're hitting, we're going to be up to like that 85-ish dollar range very soon. There's not a lot of wiggle room between the two. But like I said, tons of people affected. And what ends up happening is, so we hope everyone gets refunded. Hopefully you get this address in a proper time so you can get your money back. I've spoke with several people. They were able to get their money back. Thank goodness. But like, how did this happen? How did this happen? TCG Player is supposed to be a very safe place to buy product. The sellers are supposed to be pretty vetted. It's supposed to be pretty small on discrepancies with how their sellers are. It's supposed to be, like I said, a very trusted source to get stuff, and this kind of makes me question that a little bit. That's just freaky. It would be one thing if it was like, a card labeled as near mint ended up being like light plate or moderate plate or something like that, but this is $400,000 plus of stuff that affects a ton of customers, affects the overall market. And a lot of people probably bought that stuff being like, oh, I'm getting such a good deal. Now they have to wait for money to come back so they can reinvest it in whatever they're going to do. And they thought they were getting a good deal, and now they're not getting a good deal. And they thought they got it from a place they could trust. And TCG Player hasn't said anything about it. No kind of little news release or something. That blows my mind. That blows my mind. They should at least say something about it. But how do we avoid this from happening in the future? How do we avoid it from happening in the future? I think there's a couple of different things TCG Player could do to vet the process a little better. And I'm not an expert with TCG Player. I buy there from now and then, every now and then. I don't sell there because I got my own website. I got eBay. I got vending shows. And I do all my stuff locally. So I don't really play around with TCG Player too much. In my opinion, a new account, they need a better authentication process. definitely need a much better authentication process. And if they're a new account, like, don't let them post 10,000 quantity worth of stuff. Like, don't let them post that. There should be a way to vet it. Like, they should be able to submit a request to post it in some way to prove it. Like, hey, you know what? TCG Player representative is going to call you and do a video chat to verify that the product is there, that it's real, that's just sitting there waiting to be sold. Because that is so dangerous for a lot of people financially. There's a lot of money that moved. And it was kind of the perfect storm. I mean, they did it on Christmas Eve. Most TCG players or workers were probably gone for the holidays, whatever it was. And you know what? It was just set up so perfect. Set up so perfect at a price that everybody just wanted and hoped was real. And unfortunately, it was not. But an approval process for a newer account, especially since it's only a month old, I don't think that's unfair. And if it takes a few days to verify that, so be it. That sucks. For the seller, it's going to take them a little extra time to sell something. But I think it's worth it for customer safety. That's kind of what I think should happen. That's what I think should happen, or even bigger sellers in general. Any seller, they should, if they post that much quantity, it should get vetted and verified first by TCG Player, because that's so much money moving. That's a lot of credit card fees, a lot of transactional stuff, a lot of money gone. And if people aren't on top of it, they're not going to get their money back. So get on top of it as quick as you can. Get your money back. I heard from some customers that they aren't because I guess once you buy the product, you can message the seller, and you're able to get that resolved through them first, and then if not, then TCG Player. But I heard they're not even responding to their messages now. One Piece breaks. If you did get hacked and this was just some kind of crazy freak accident, reach out to me. haas.gamesandcards@gmail.com. Again, haas.gamesandcards@gmail.com. I'd love to interview you. I'd love to get your side of things, kind of figure out what happened, whether it was a freak accident hack, or if this was kind of real-ish and you just went balls deep and that's terrible to say. You just went super ham and you didn't have the stock or whatever. I don't know. I just need to know. A lot of people want to know. So if you're around, if you see this, reach out to me, because I'd love to get your side of the story. Even if you're a scammer, I want to know. I think a lot of people want to know. So just to kind of wrap things up, TCG Player, you're not as safe as what you claim to be. You're not as safe as what you claim to be. You need to come out with a statement so everybody knows who was impacted, and just so that the general public knows what's up. Because keeping people in the dark is such a crappy practice, such a bad practice. A lot of people like to know the why. I feel like you're going to do your customers really good with that. Hopefully everyone can get reimbursed. And hopefully TCG Player finds a really good financial investigator. There's a lot of law enforcement entities that will do that. They can backtrack a lot of this stuff and find where the money's going. You can write subpoenas for that information. So hopefully TCG Player also reports it to the authorities so this person can get caught and this doesn't happen again, because again, so crazy, so nuts. And it shouldn't happen. It just shouldn't happen, especially on TCG Player, where it's supposed to be a safe platform. I know I've said that a million times, but we're going to drill it home. But hopefully this kind of helps out with the situation. Just a crazy one. And such bad taste to do it on Christmas too. To scam people like that. Don't love it. But it's late. I'm ready for a nap. And I'm sick as hell. So I hope you all have a good night. Don't do anything crazy.